Hello everybody, Brian here from quantlabs.net again. Just before I get started, if you want to talk to me, get your questions in right away, get some benefits. Also, we have that sale I've been mentioning for the last couple of days, actually a couple of weeks. If you want to get on it, just come over to quantlabs.net elite, and there's 2 videos now to walk you through what this thing's about. Alright, so let's go into Bitcoin dollars in September all the way up to $19,000 in 2 months. Name me another asset this year that had that kind of return. Okay, so let's go on to how and why, what's driving what. So over here, I'm going to whiz through this. Bitcoin versus USD, why a weaker dollar will push BTC above 20,000. Let me repeat, there it is, 20,000. Make money here. Okay, so just having connection problem. 20. As a result, that can be from whatever reason, politics, whatever. As a result, the institutions have no return. So what do? They put money into alternative sources. Bitcoin's one of the big ones, the only last game in town. Gold's not really earning anything here. So I'm just going to quickly go through these charts here. So Bitcoin has eased from the more exports for the US because it's a cheaper dollar. So there is some benefits there. As you can see here, bubble lead to a 600% surge in gold. Some interesting facts there. Okay, so here's another interesting one. This is from bitcoin.com. Some highlights here. I'm just going to go through. Again, this article was written in June, so this was predicted to happen. Again, this site has been on par, exponential growth. Bitcoin trading volume could rival major asset classes. It's pretty well destroyed all major asset classes per day. Look at that. We checked last Monday, it was 1.4 billion, or trillion, sorry. And you can see here daily volume peaked, equity market volume, current growth rate, Bitcoin volume will match major asset classes by 2024 or 2025. And there are going to be governments out there wanting to put a stop to that. If historical growth rates can be maintained, Bitcoin current daily volume from spot market or 4.3 will need fewer than few years of growth to exceed daily volume of all U.S. equities. That is massive. Fewer than 5 years are needed to exceed daily of all U.S. bonds. The way the U.S. bonds are going and the the U.S. Debt situation, it's not too good because Treasury's gonna tank, and the Fed is having a real hard problem keeping Treasury, and let's face it, I'll show you another chart, it's losing its credibility as well. So right now, I don't know when this was generated, so global FX spot market 1.9 billion, no, that's 1.9 trillion. Here now, over the last few months, including markets quoted stable coins, significantly increased the daily volume to 3.5 billion. So when you look at Tether and all the other US based stable coins, they're mushrooming as well. EU's worried about it, and I haven't even mentioned that Libra is coming out supposedly. I think it's official now, in January it's coming out, so that's going to be huge too. Alright, so let's get into the performance of the US dollar CNBC here. You can see here it's been peaked at 100.08. Now it's down to 91.78. Okay, so it's losing its value. That started in April. When you started seeing these repo programs come out with the US Fed, it's just been trying to keep the US dollar afloat. I think with US volume, as I said, or US dollar dropping, the institutions have nowhere else to hide out in, isn't Bitcoin and other like Ethereum. So as a result, Ethereum's going to go up. When you start seeing these calls of 30,000, the one was for the end of the year. I don't think it'll be that high, but the rate it's going, it's possible. but I can see why. And not only that, I've mentioned it before. The Bitcoin mining supply is at 2 million left, so there's not much left, and that's no more. So it's like the gold supply in the world for mining is got quite a bit of time left, but with Bitcoin, it's not very much longer before that mining supply is done. So there's that. Now, there's this other article here from wallstreet.com. This one's an interesting one, written the end of September, and again, remember here, end of September, you're flatlining here around 9, 10, 11,000 till the end of Bitcoin. So it started to move. As a result, it started to really take off in and around that time. So this is when the article was written. I'm just going to focus only on the charts here. But how has so this is the name of the article at wallstreet.com. How has U.S. dollar held up global reserve currency during the Q2, vaccine and all this nonsense, pandemic turmoil? So again, that article is again, how has the U.S. dollar held up as global reserve currency during Q2 turmoil? So here's the first one. So you can see here the global reserve currency for the U.S. dollar allocated reserves dropped from 66 to 61%. That's big. People are moving off of the U.S. dollar, namely China, Russia, Iran. I mean, it might not sound a lot, but they still do have a lot of economic activity. USD of global official reserves. So along comes the euro, and it knocks it down a little bit. And as you can see here, the euro has not collapsed. So along the yuan, the digital yuan come out. I think it's going to start to eat into everybody else. I don't want to use the word credibility, but if people start trusting it, and China's smart enough to figure out that they got to remove a lot of those controls, it's quite possible that the Chinese yuan or renminbi can start to increase. But you can see here, U.S. dollar declining. I can never pronounce this. Hegemony is slightly declining now. Reserve currencies except for the U.S. dollars. So yen, yes. I think the British pound will start to come back. Canadian dollar, not so much. Australian's starting to show some stuff. And then the Swiss franc. Those are all the major ones. So that's pretty well it I wanted to highlight here. Let me know what you think. So again, if you want to know more about this and benefit from these kind of moves with Bitcoin, Ethereum, that's a 15-minute chart, hourly chart. It's doing really good. You want to be part of this. This is the Quant Labs, quantlabs.net/elite. Ends Monday. 2 videos there to show you what's going on, and as well, if you want to talk to me, get your questions in pretty quick at this email here, and we'll go from there. Thanks for watching. Have yourselves a good day.